So, yesterday you were traveling, right? You joined in the last 5 minutes.
Sorry?
Did you join yesterday in the last 5 or 10 minutes?
I was in flight, sir. I'm
Okay.
in Chicago right now.
Okay. Nah, some Deepika iPhone joined, so I thought it was you.
Okay.
Okay, let us start the session.
Yes.
Sit comfortably. Close your eyes. Take deep breath. One more chanting and prayer. Inhale. Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahaye Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vigdishavahaye. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Rub your palms, reduce heat, apply it on your eyes. With a few blinks, gently open your eyes. Okay. For Deepika's better understanding, yesterday we covered happiness analysis, and after that we discussed something as a prelude to Karma Yoga. What is Dharma? We discussed yesterday. I think video might be available. You can check with the management. Abhishek sir, you can ask. So happiness analysis, very briefly, we can yesterday the important points what we told is that uh, no one asks what is happiness, even though everyone pursues to be happy. Okay, what is happiness? That was the question we dealt yesterday, and we after some analysis we found that happiness is inside, not in the outside world or material thing or situation. Happiness is clearly an internal affair. Okay, and why we said that? Because when you analyze, yesterday we gave an example of America. You are in Chicago now. America, an example we gave, because America is the most powerful nation in the world for a long time. So we all have that notion that in America all is well. I mean, not you maybe. I'm thinking the general perception. I'm telling the general perception. Okay, people want to go to America, settle there. There, every material advancement is there, latest technology, all the facilities, civic amenities, everything. And yet, we can see that America is ridden with a lot of problem. Example, drug culture, gun culture, lifestyle diseases. 30% of the people in America is having irritable bowel syndrome, psychological disorder. So all these things are rampant in American society. So if material comfort or the outside world beautification is the yardstick of happiness, then America would be the most happiest nation on earth. But that is not the case. One thing is that. Second thing, uh, imagine some outside material thing is making you happy, but too much of that. Say, for example, you like rasgulla, eating rasgulla makes you happy, but if you are eating continuously 4 or 5 rasgulla or 10 rasgulla, you may vomit. That is one thing. That is called law of diminishing return. Whatever material thing outside you have too much exposed to, that will make you bored. Some boredom will come. That even you can see in couples relationship, right? I'm not telling exceptional cases. Most of the couple initially what they had, the feeling they had, slowly it evolved into something else. That infatuation goes, craziness goes, and if there is a deep underlying love, then only that relationships survive. Otherwise, there might be problem, fighting, divorce, etc. Then another thing is that outside thing is relative. One person may like rasgulla, the other person may not like it. Same with the community. One community like one thing, the other community may not like it. So this clearly indicates that happiness is inside. Okay. Now, where is happiness? What is happiness? We have to understand. Yesterday we looked into that. Happiness means it is nothing but concentration. You can say up to some extent concentration is happiness. Imagine a person is fully concentrating and working something that makes him happy. Example, video game. A child, you can see video game, too much concentration and full time dopamine secretion. But that also continuous exposure for a long time. If you concentrate on something, you may feel tired, you may be fatigued. So that is also not the happiness. So what is happiness? Happiness means stillness. Stillness of the mind is happiness, or going beyond the mind. You are reaching to that nothingness, stillness, ananda. In the first class, you remember, that is happiness. So to tell you an example, if you imagine you are eating rasgulla, the moment it touches your tongue, something happens in you. That particular moment, you become thoughtless. Another example we told of sex, in orgasm, that particular moment, you cannot even think anything. You are going beyond your mind. Even if you purposefully try to think something, you cannot. That is a thoughtless state. So if you see a sunset, you are going to a mountain region, watching a sunset or sunrise, it makes you happy. What is happening? That particular moment, your mind will become still. There is no thought comes. That is happiness. So through yoga, all other things, material things, has a limitation in giving you happy. Sunset come, it goes, happiness gone. Even after sex, there will be some sort of monotony, like post-coitus depression for males, you can say. Rasgulla, we told already. Continuously, you cannot eat and have that thing. So, what is the way to reach to that? Going beyond the mind. Yoga says that. So, through yoga, if you continuously, for a long period, if you practice yoga, meditation, all these things, then you can go beyond your mind and reach that thoughtlessness state, samadhi avastha. That is the supreme destination where you can find happiness. So people just like musk deer, confused or have that wrong notion that happiness is inside. Just like musk deer is searching for that fragrance outside, we are searching for happiness outside, without knowing that happiness is an internal phenomenon. So that we discussed, so that you should go inward. Inward doesn't mean introvert. Some introvert person you can see, right? Maybe as part of your profession, you might be exceptionally like expressive. So this is not introversion we are talking. Even you are very much in the heat of the world, very much in that on the war field, that analogy, on the war field, you should have that stillness in your mind. That is what karma yoga, that's what we will look today. Okay. So that's what we discussed yesterday, and then after that we told what is dharma. Dharma means the very basis or very essence of our existence. Dharma is having different interpretation. Some people connect it to religion. Religion is dharma, but dharma is it's an inner nature or the very reason for our existence, we can say, and it is connected to entire universe also. It is very difficult to understand fully your dharma. You are born into your dharma. We are part of stream of an existence. There were a lot of ancestors we had. Now we are part of that chain, and we will be producing offspring. So it goes on like that. In that particular position, according to the station where you are positioned right now, what are the duties you must do? Basic duties you must do. That is dharma. So whenever Gita or yoga talks about dharma, this is the idea you should carry, not the religion dharma, because Hindi word of religion is dharam. Okay, but from religion also, lot of values we get imbibed in us that becomes part of our dharma. Certain rituals, say certain religious rites, but that is only one small part of the entire dharma you have to follow. following the constitution and law of the land is your dharma. Protecting your, taking care of your parents is your dharma. Rearing your child is your dharma. Taking care of your body, your dharma. Doing professional duties, your dharma. It's all about the position where you are stationed. Now, yesterday we told dharma. Today I'm telling swadharma. Swadharma means it is different for different person. What is the swadharma for Dimiga might be different from Icha. That might be different from Arjun. But you have a lot of common grounds to stand on. That becomes your dharma. Apart from that, there is specific dharma for you to do. Say, for example, you three are working in an organization. Imagine, three are working in same organization. So most of the dharma is common. But one person's mother is sick. And you are the lonely child. So there should be a trade-off. You may not be able to attend the office like your friends. You had to maybe taking leave, and a couple of months you had to take care of your parents. Some people even leave their job to take care of their parents. So this doesn't mean that whenever your parents become sick, you have to leave the job. The point is that it is your duty from which you cannot escape. Either you arrange a home nurse, or if you have siblings, you have that understanding between the siblings and give that duty to your brother or sister. Or if there is no other way, you have to look after your parents. So it is swadharma. So Arjuna was reminded of his swadharma on the war field. So swadharma, synonymous of that swadharma is karma itself. Okay, so whenever Gita talks about swadharma, that is karma. You have to do that. If you are not doing that, there will be backfire. There will be consequences. Okay, so we are born into our dharma, swadharma. Fulfilling of that swadharma itself is the meaning of our life. We are here to fulfill our swadharma. That's it. Now you can analyze, most of the people are confused because they are not clear about their swadharma. They go astray from that path and create a lot of problems. So what is the problem it creates? Because it creates an impact. Whatever, see, you should do always action. There is no escape from karma or action. Even if you are sitting idle, that is also an action, karma. You have to do karma. How we can do that tactically? That means there should not be any impression or imprint or impact in your mind just because of that karma. So that is the meaning of karma yoga. Always we have to do karma. And how? We should not create any impact. Say, for one story you remember, Shankaracharya took that lady on his shoulder, crossed the river. But other people carried that impact in their mind, and it made their mind agitated. But Shankaracharya, he didn't have that actionness of action. So that is karma yoga. Okay. Now, yesterday, one important thing we discussed is that we should renounce fruit of action. I am repeating the important point so that Deepikaji should not miss that, the continuity. Renounce the fruit of action may be little confusing or little surprising for especially modern day people, because we all are working with an eye on fruit of action. If I do this job, what I will get? If I do this, what is the benefit? Always, most of the human beings, 99.9% of the people in the current world think like that. But that is against the ideal of karma yoga. One important point of karma yoga is renunciation of the fruit of action. And we discussed in detail yesterday why that should be. I told some aspects of that. Say, for example, now, when I say this, you have to think in your shoe. Okay, you are in a particular position. So in that position, if you renounce the fruit of action, how better you can perform. Okay, so first point I told is that Imagine if you have an eye on fruit of action, you will be daydreaming during that work. If I do this work, I will get this much money. If I do this work, I'll become famous, like that. But that will kill the time, right? Imagine you have a target, maybe from your organization or at your home or in any action. Individually, you are doing something, you have a target. Okay? You have a deadline. So, target, deadline, aim, all these things are actually part of your dharma. So, if imagine in your organization, your boss is giving you a deadline. So, there should not be an eye on the fruit of action, Gita says. Then you can say, how that can be? Because I have a deadline to achieve by next Saturday. So I should have an eye on that target, right? But that becomes part of your dharma. So dharma. By being in that position in that company, it is your bounden duty to do that. Okay. So renunciation of fruit of action can save you some time. Rather than daydreaming about the fruit of action, if you give your full energy, full lifeblood into that particular process, that process will attain another level. That will become more effective. First point. Second point, such a person who renounce that fruit of action attain excellence. His work will be an excellent work. Okay. Third thing, imagine we are having selfish motive. We are working to attain something. Even if we not attain that, we consider it as like, okay, I lost something, it's okay. You may forgive with you. But a karma yogi who renounces the fruit of action consider that as a moral lapse, because there is not only he or she in the picture, everything involved. So it is so important for me to do this as a duty, not as a work. Work you can put off. Duty you must do. There is no escape from it. Okay. So these are the benefits. And I told one very good example of a farmer. Farmer do farming because farmer wants to have produce for his family, food. Surplus, he sell in the market and earn money. So you are approaching a farmer and asking how much he earns per year. 10 lakh, he says. And you are saying him, okay, I'll give you 15 lakh. Don't do farming. Will you do that? A true farmer will not do that. Because why? Process is important for him. Aim is secondary. Fruit of action is secondary. How process is important? Every day morning, she is getting up and going to the field. Sun is waiting for her to give that early morning energy. She will be having a gentle caring of the plants, chirping sound of the bird, cattle assembling around her will make him really calm, will make her really calm. Okay, all these things happening every day. Now imagine accepting that offer, 15 lakh, and she is sitting at home, watching all those TV serials, enjoying the life. She will be having lifestyle diseases, all problem for her body, mind will become redundant, monotonous. So having that fruit is one thing, but most important thing is process. And to substantiate that, I told some example like India Afghanistan match and India Australia match cricket. Which one will you buy ticket? In no uncertain terms, we can say you will buy a ticket for India Australia match. So if fruit is important for you, you would have taken ticket for India Afghanistan match, because there India's victory is almost 100%. So process is important. Another example I told, you like Bahubali because of Ballal Deva, formidable villain you need in a movie. Otherwise, that movie will be monotonous. So process is important, not the fruit. But we are confused. We are misguided. Okay. So Gita is inviting your attention. Bhagavad Gita, the one of the text of yoga, inviting your attention to the action itself, not the fruit of it, so that your action will attain excellency. Okay. So this is a brief thing yesterday we discussed in class. So now there is a small story of Lakshmi Swayamvara. That during that days it was Swayamvara. Women had that, see that time, women had that power to choose a partner. All these males gather, assemble in a court. That woman or queen, that princess comes with a garland, and whomever she likes, she put that garland. So Lakshmi had Swayamvara. So Lakshmi, you know, right? Our Indian goddess. I don't need to explain that. All are Indians. So Lakshmi had one demand. There were these warriors or these people had to prove their mettle, right? So Lakshmi's demand was, whoever does not desire her, she will marry. Whoever does not covet her, she would put the garland. So all those people assembled, definitely they coveted her. So she didn't find a fitting candidate. Then she started thinking, okay, is there such a person in this world who is not coveting her? So she started traveling. She started traveling all over the places. Finally, she reached Vaikunta, where our Lord Vishnu was laying on Adishesha, serpent. Even Lakshmi came, he was like fully in that eternal bliss. Then Lakshmi put the garland and sat on his feet. That was the story that time. Now, in modern day parlance, what we have to take is that Lakshmi means property, prosperity, or all those gains, you can say. Not only material gain. Lakshmi, prosperity means wealth is health. Health is wealth, sometimes we say, right? So having good health, prosper in every way, not only outside material thing. So whoever is not having that base desire in their mind will have all the prosperity. That is the meaning of that. Now, this may be contradictory to the modern philosophy. Some of the philosophies which are being circulated in, like, YouTube or WhatsApp, that means you should have an aim, you should think properly on that and then work. That is one philosophy. Okay, that philosophy also works. But here we are learning yoga philosophy. And what is the difference between yoga philosophy and the other philosophies? That in that, if you set an aim and clearly focusing on that and work, you will be, most of the time, you will be under stress. That may take a huge toll on your body and mind. You may achieve the target. Okay, imagine your aim is to become the prime minister or whatever, the top CEO of your company. That you set an aim and work. You'll be working. You may be mentally tired, physically exhausted, and maybe your aim you may achieve. But you will be like a squeezed sugar cane by the end of it. The Karma Yoga says, or this particular yoga philosophy says that without having an eye on fruit of action, if you simply do your Swadharma, then you will be having infinite gain. You may set an aim, but you may get more than that. Yesterday I told another example also, how Sachin got Bharata Ratna. When Sachin was playing, what aim he could have set, maximum he could have set the aim to become the best cricketer in the world. That time Bharata Ratna was not awarded to sports personnel. So that aim was not existing for him during his career. But by the end of his career, not only he became the greatest cricketer, he got Bharata Ratna. Parliament had a session and they changed the law and they awarded the highest civilian honor in our land. And what Karma Yoga Sachin was following, his only focus was to hit the ball hard as much as possible. That is the only thing he did. So that is taking actionness out of the action and giving you infinite gain. Okay, but simply performing Swadharma will not be sufficient to attain that. Even a person who is doing Swadharma can have an aim, can have an eye on the aim or fruit of action. So what we have to do to qualify or to exalt our particular action to the level of Karma Yoga? or samadhi. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to, there is, there are three things Bhagavad Gita says. One is karma, which I told Swadharma. There should be something you have to add. It is just like, what is a currency? It is just a piece of paper, but it attains some value because of the government seal in it. Okay. Another story from that Purana, Sudama visited Krishna. You might have heard. Sudama visited Krishna with a handful of parched rice. And Krishna accepted that. And by the time he reached back, his small hut became a palace. Okay. So what was that parched rice? What was the value of that? That Sudama gave his full love, affection in that small parched rice, which attained infinite value for Krishna. This is the same concept of that Gurukula setup, where that students had to give dakshina. Student might be giving a chapel, might be giving a flower, small thing, but that had high value because of the intention behind it, the value that student had given to that, the love that student poured into that. It attains huge value. So the point is that there is one term called vikarma. Karma should be filled with vikarma internally. You are doing karma outside and having vikarma inside. By having vikarma inside. Now, to tell one example, a milkman in your neighborhood, okay, he's having 7 or 8 cows. He's giving milk to that different houses in that locality. Normal milkman, how does he work? Why he work? Because he's earning a living out of that. There will be money involved in that. But a person who is adding vikarma into it, what he must think? Okay, by giving this milk, I am doing actually a service to the society, because there are many packet milk in the market which is adulterated. But I am taking milk from the cow without any adulteration. I am serving it to the neighborhood. So it is a welfare. That feeling, sentiments involved in that. With that, he is having an opportunity to connect with the lower creatures in the nature. Say, for example, cow. He is treating cow in a very good manner. First, he let the calf to drink the milk. Then only he extract milk from the mother. That much purity he maintained in that each and every action. So that when you look through your eyes, a milkman is coming, another milkman is coming. Both are doing the same work outside, but internal world differs. So what difference it makes in them? For one person, may be under duress, maybe under stress of earning a living, gaining more and more money. The other person doing it with full of enjoyment, bliss, peace, calmness. So that is adding vikarma, pouring vikarma into the action. So vikarma means your mind fully involved in that. That is vikarma. Each and every action you do, your mind is fully involved. Now, another example. You are somewhere in Delhi or in North India, right? And River Ganga has such a high value in our mind, right? River Ganga, we have given great bhakti aspect to that. Mother Ganga, we say. Now you are coming to place like Haridwar or Rishikesh to have a holy dip. Okay, so how you come? With a lot of bhakti in you. Okay, lot of bhakti, that reverence in you. You are coming to have a holy dip. Another foreigner is coming. Okay, for foreigner, what is it? It is just 2H2 plus O2 gives 2H2O. That is river water of Ganga. Nothing more. River Ganga is also giving water. His own place also is getting water. Only that feeling. Now a third person is coming, a dog. Three of you are taking bath. Is there any difference? Three of you get cleansed physically. But that is the outer aspect. What happens to you? There will be something involved which will make your mind pure. That feeling, that conviction in you, that bhakti in you, making that act something superior to something superior vis-a-vis the bath taken by that dog as well as a foreigner. Now you are doing yogasana every day morning. You are performing Surya Namaskara. Okay, physical aspect of Surya Namaskara may make you physical benefit. But if you are having that internal feeling, sun salutation, you are paying reverence to sun god, which is the source of energy to this entire earth. So what will happen? There will be your radiant, there will be your intellect will be radiant. Mind may get pure. So same action outward, outward you see 2% taking Surya Namaskara, 1% do that with the vikarma inside. Full involvement of the mind with that bhakti, then that act will become something greater. So that is vikarma. Okay, to tell another example, imagine this is a pandemic period. You are admitted to a hospital. Okay, you are fully sick. You are in quarantine. You cannot even connect with your family members. And there is a nurse to take care of you. In your mind, in your idea, how that nurse should behave. Do you like a nurse who is simply doing her karma, or a nurse who has mixed vikarma with her karma? Now see from the nurse perspective. What will happen? Nurse, okay, it is her work. She comes, she is earning money. Okay. And she is doing that as a routine activity. After some time, she may feel sick, right? And means simply for having that eye on the fruit of action, I am getting this money. Okay, I have a reputation. I can take care of my children, because of that I am doing. But another nurse, she considered that as a service. She considered that as a service to God. She is having that vikarma, full involvement of the mind therein. She will never feel monotonous, because sometimes patient act weird. In that situation, they may even abuse you. There will be a lot of other physical problem, mental problem, all these things, and everything she can nurse or he can nurse if there is vikarma inside. Okay, now what is the gain out of it? Okay, gain, I can say, first I will tell a story, then I can take a couple of examples from you. Okay, story is this is a story in Mahabharata. One person, one sadhak goes to a forest and sitting for meditation. So he meditates for a long period, and one day he was sitting under a tree. A crane and a pigeon were fighting from the top of the tree, and that is shaking that the tree branches, leaves, everything, which actually created some sort of disturbance in this sadhak. So after he bare it for some time, and after that he suddenly opened his eyes with anger and look at those birds, gave a glance at those birds. Suddenly fire emanated from his eyes and set those birds ablaze, kill those birds into ashes. Then suddenly the sadhak got surprised. Oh my God, what's just happened? I have attained this siddhi. Just I looked at those birds, and those birds turned into ashes. Wow, now I am progressing. He has that feeling in his mind. Okay. And these sadhak, especially in jungle, they set their camp near a village so that they can go for diksha because they need to eat also. So next day morning, he goes to the neighboring village and he goes to her home and asks her, Mataji diksha. Then one voice comes from inside, Beta, please wait. I'm doing something here. Please wait. I'm coming. I will address your need. Then this sadhak, this Swami started thinking, how dare she say like that to me? She doesn't know my power. Yesterday, I came to know about it. I killed those crane and pigeon. It's simply one look. And she is mistreating me without knowing my power. Then suddenly one voice comes from inside, that same lady. Beta, don't think too much. Here there is no crane or pigeon. Then he was like, huh? How does she know what happened yesterday? Then he was like fully confused, thinking about that lady's response. Then after some time, that lady comes and gives alms to that person. Then he falls at her feet and say, Mataji, how do you know what happened yesterday? Beta, I am not a siddha like you. Okay, I am not a great saint like you. What I do is I take care of my parents. I simply do my swadharma. After continuously doing that, I might have got this knowledge, this viveka, this discrimination, faculty of discrimination. That is the only thing I do. Mataji, please teach me that, he says. I'm not the right person to teach you. You go to the neighboring town where you can see a butcher. You will meet a butcher. It's a butchery shop. You go to that town, you will find a butcher there. He is the right person to impart wisdom in you. Then, okay, as this lady told, he had to follow that. So while traveling, he was thinking, a butcher? A butcher is the one person who is going to teach me wisdom. With that confused mind, he traveled to that town. He reached near that butchery shop. And by the time he is entering to that butchery shop, that butcher says, Ha, welcome, welcome. That Mataji only sent you here, right? Then he was surprised, huh? There is no WhatsApp. There is no mobile phone. How does he know? Then he says, okay, please wait. Let me finish my job. I have some more work to finish. After that, we can talk. Then he was cutting the meat, packing it properly. And after his work, he says, okay, now let us go to our home and freshen up and then we can talk. Once he reaches the home, again he tells, okay, give me some time. Let me address to the needs of my old and sick parents. And he goes inside, feed his parents and then come back. Then he says, okay, you have come for wisdom. He preached something that is known as Vyadha Gita. That is also known as a Gita, Vyadha Gita. Vyadha means butcher. Okay. Then from that, this person gains wisdom and take the blessings and leave. So the point here is that if you do your duty without any expectation, following your swadharma, adding your vikarma into it, that duty itself is sufficient for you to gain that supreme wisdom. Now you may be wondering, oh, this is a story in Mahabharata. He is simply making something up. How does it, it is possible even? And another thing I can tell you, Ramana Maharshi, back in 20th century, not long ago, not during Mahabharata time, simply sat in silence for 16 years. And after that, when he started talking, he was talking that knowledge of Brahman, which is the same knowledge imparted through Veda, Upanishad, and Bhagavad Gita. He never read any of those things by simply sitting in meditation, silence. This is called Jnana Yoga, Manana Nididhyasa, deep meditation. He attained knowledge. But we may not be able to sit like that. Not everyone is made like that. So Karma Yoga says, where you are, you might be a nurse, you might be a police, an airline professional, a bank employee, it doesn't matter where you are, a barber, a butcher, you can attain that supreme wisdom. How? Now, another example. a barber cutting the hair in a salon. Okay, if he knows that karma rahasya, karma, adding vikarma into it and working. Oh, 1 second, I am the only host. Let me make someone else co-host. Okay. I have made Deepika ji co-host. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Barber simply cutting the hair with that karma, that feeling of swadharma in him, with that vikarma involved. After some time, it occurs to him, I have been cleaning the head of other people. Have I cleansed my head with that knowledge of Supreme, knowledge of the self? Have I cleansed my head with ego, with base desires like anger? All these things will occur to him. This is one thing. Second thing, a potter. You take a potter. Potter, same thing, knows the karma rahasya. After prolonged practice, he may start thinking, I have been shaping this pot for a long time. Have I shaped my heart and brain like that? Perfection. Okay. Now take the example of airline professional, air host. I don't know which capacity she's working. I'm taking the example of an air hostess. Okay. Air hostess, you can see when you are sitting in plane as a traveler, air hostess is there at your service. You just whatever problem you have, there is a person for you to interact with, and he or she will address fully your needs, right? So imagine a air hostess is working. Yeah, what is professionalism says? You be a professional in that flight. Once you are out of the flight, you can be yourself, right? No matter even that your client is angry at you because of some lapse in your service, you should not be angry. You should be sorry sir, no, sorry for inconvenience, like that you say, right? But same person, when you come to home, what is the same? When someone is angry at you, you may ventilate your feeling fully, right? But a karma yogi knows karma rahasya, how she or he should work as an air hostess. Same like that milkman, she should feel inside that as a service. She should fully involve her mind into it, not just as a professionalism. She should consider it as the greatest opportunity for her to serve to the God. That level, if she or he can exalt that particular work as a duty, that will become her second nature. Even if she comes home, or even if she interact in society, that will come. Service orientation, which will cleanse her with her ego, anger, lot of such embodiments in the path of yoga. One example, banker, no, such a monotonous job for so many persons, right? But banking, what is happening? All this calculation happening, counting, balancing that accounts, all these things are happening, right? That also he can take into his life. That person can think maybe 10 or 15 years of karma yoga service. Have I balanced my life? Have I balanced the balance sheet of my life? Not in that monetary terms, in all other way balancing. So they say there are 4 paths. One, karma yoga, raja yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga. In that, whichever path you follow, you can reach that destination. There is a saying in Upanishad, different colors of cow yield same color of milk, all paths lead to same destination. So why there are divisions like this? It is according to the temperament and taste of each and every individual. When you are students attending a yoga class, you can see some person sitting, wow, fully into meditation, no fatigue, half an hour, 45 minutes, she is able to sit. I cannot sit like that. Within 10 minutes, I feel some disturbance and all. So she is a greater yogi. I am no one. You don't need to think like that. Maybe you are a karma yoga guy. It is just like A monkey knows how to climb the tree. Monkey cannot swim like a crocodile, right? Same way, we have our own differences. So it is according to our taste, we select the path. Karma Yoga means, okay, it doesn't matter. You are not doing Surya Namaskara, all these things. Whatever work you do, you give your full heart into it. By killing all those ego-based desires, renouncing the fruit of action, detaching even yourself from the fruit of action. Do not take ownership of your action. In that way, if you do work, you will become a karma yogi. That is not lesser than the other three paths. So you can see a lot of people not working, not doing yoga, that yoga, physical yoga. Then you don't need to underrate them, underestimate them. They may be greater than you. Because you may be doing yoga without having that feeling, simply having that physical benefit. The other person not doing any yoga, but his intellect will be radiant. His mind might be pure. And you will be wondering after 15 years of yoga, asana practice and all, look at him, he's peaceful, I am not. He is less egoistic, but I have a high sense of ego. Okay, so karma yoga is that. That means the benefit of this. One benefit I told, if you do that karma with the proper mix of vikarma, you will be having purity of mind, radiating intellect. Your personality will change. You will be more closer to Brahman, more closer to your inner self, more relaxed, more peaceful. All these things are the benefit. Now, what is another benefit of doing karma, that swadharma, by mixing vikarma into it? Another benefit is that society will get an example. You can set an example to the society through which you can ward off hypocrisy. Imagine the hypocrisy of a professional, because we all are in that capacity one time or the other, right? Working in an organization. Organization give you training to behave in certain way. So in front of your customers, you're like, welcome sir, welcome on board. What can I do for you? Like that. Same person when goes to home or other private thing changes. That is hypocrisy, right? What you are preaching, you are not practicing. You are something inside and there is a mask outside. And you feel like that is necessary in this world. Okay? That is very much needed in this world. You think like that. But that is not. Karma Yoga says so. You don't need to be like that. You can be very pure, deep inside. But outside, that doesn't mean that in an organization where bootlegging is there, someone is pulling your leg, cheating, all these things, sleazy conduct is there in your organization. How can you be pure? You may ask that question. Okay? In an organization where many people are there to cheat you, pull you down, how can you remain pure? You can ask. Purity is an internal thing, right? You act outside. Krishna was considered as the greatest yogi. And you can see a lot of incidents where Krishna acted, right? Krishna killed, Shishupala killed, Krishna killed. So even if you are killing, it's okay. Hey, wait a second. Don't disconnect and go, okay? Even if you are killing, it is okay. You listen fully. How you have to kill? Butcher is killing, right? That is not creating an imprint in him, because that is the dharma he was born into. So that is actually relieving him from the binding of karma. And Krishna says to Arjuna, Sugha dukhe same kritva labha labho jaya jayo tado yuddhaya yujjasva naivam pabama vapsisi. That means in sugha and dukkha, that means happiness and sorrow, labha and alabha, profit and loss, jaya and ajaya, success and failure, remain calm. Then you fight, you will not incur any sin. If you are killing a person because of your ego, because of anger, Because of jealousy, there is no escape for you. What about a soldier killing and you killing difference? Soldier's duty is that. Soldier is there standing on the border. If enemy comes, he had to kill. Does anyone punish him for that? Why? What is the difference? Okay, mother protecting her children. Someone is coming and attacking. Someone is trying to kill that baby. Mother responded. Kill that person. Will there be any sin? There will be no sin. Because that was mother's duty. Primary duty to protect the child. Even in court also, she can be acquitted if she can prove her innocence. Court of law. Okay, so that is what we have to do. Don't get misguided. Like karma yoga means completely pure. Even in organization, someone is trying to play games with you, you remain pure. Krishna didn't do like that. And another thing, purity doesn't mean that you should be meek, submissive. No. If there is a DJ going on, Krishna will be rocking the dance floor, right? So same way we can also behave. You cannot judge a person simply by outside manifestation. There might be a notion like, okay, yogi or a sannyasi means you should not jump, dance and all. No. He or she can do anything, all inclusive. But inner purity matters. With what feeling, what sentiments inside, what mental capacity that person, he or she is doing that act, that is important. So you can remain wherever you are, whatever profession you are into, but what purity you have in your mind. But is that the case today? You can see work as a burden. Oh, there is very pressure in my work. You can see two bankers. One banker really enjoying the banking profession. Another banker, last week in Kerala, one lady manager committed suicide inside her cabin at 10:15 in the morning. She had two children, small kids, not even grown up. She came to the office at 10:15. She was hanging on the ceiling. So the reason they say is that immense pressure in work. Target, deadline, neoliberal world order, economic world order, which took a toll on her, and she committed suicide. Another banker getting promotion, going very high, simply enjoying that work. He feels like banking is the best thing. Banker job is the best thing happened to him. I have seen such person also. Not far, no, 20 years back, even today. So what is the difference? Difference is that I'm not telling they know karma rahasya, but they are in sync with what they are doing. How they can be in sync? Because they love the work they do. And they might be adding some vikarma into it. And now that is the gain. We were discussing gain. Hypocrisy can be avoided. That person, karma yogi, can set an example. Then infinite gain that karma yogi can achieve. Then what is another benefit? Entire work will turn into samadhi. He might be working continuously, but in samadhi avastha. Samadhi means balancing of the stress. Adi means problem of your mind, stress. Sama means balance, balancing of the stress. There is no stress involved. Even after that work, you will be like fully energetic. Yeah, okay, I'm good. You can see some scientists like that, right? They are fully involved in that, their research, investigation. And without knowing, time is passing by, nothing make them tired. Fully engaged in that. Okay. Now that is karma. And if you add vikarma, what will happen? It is like karma is gunpowder, vikarma is flame, fire you are adding into it. What will happen? Explosion. And in that explosion, all your ego based desires will be killed and you will attain a position that is called akarma. So karma, which is nothing but swadharma, you add vikarma into it, it will attain the level of akarma. Akarma means what? Effortless, burdenless action. Effortless, burdenless action is akarma. You can see that effortless, burdenless action, right? Best example is a mother. Does mother ever say like, I did this for my kid, I did that for my kid, so where is the income? Where is the fruit of my action? Never say. Yeah, there are some mothers, I'm not denying that fact, but 99% general. Okay, so that is an example of akarma, reaching the stage of akarma, because karma, swadharma, she is doing her swadharma, vikarma involved. What is that? Vikarma, sentiments involved, fully into it. And same way, if you can apply that into whatever profession, whatever activity you are in, you can reach that effortless, burdenless state, and that becomes natural to you. Okay, a yogi, say for example, two yogis are sitting in the outskirts of Himalaya, two caves. Okay, they are doing practice for a long time, but one yogi attracted a lot of disciples. What will happen to the other yogi? Other yogi will be having jealousy, right? Oh, I am also doing sadhana for long years, and this guy got a lot of disciples. So the point is that even in Himalaya also, such places also, samsara will follow you. Samsara means worldliness. So to avoid that samsara, you have to attain naturalness of this akarma. For a prolonged period of time, if you do something, that means for a prolonged period of time, you do your swadharma mixing with vikarma, then you will attain naturalness of that action. To tell an example, first time your kid started walking, you will be like, oh beta, you're working hard. Everyone will enjoy that scene, right? What happens after 2 years? Does anyone say, oh, she is walking? No, that became natural. First time you are learning cycle, what will happen? There should be, you have to gain a balance. First time you gain balance, you'll go, oh, yeah, you don't clap like that. But after 2 years, does anyone say a thing about your cycling? No. So what about swimming, learning swimming? First time you float on the water, oh, you will be like in a heavenly feeling. After some time, it will be a routine, right? Same way, doing this action with the vikarma continuously, if you do, that will become your second nature. You will reach the stage of akarma, right? So that is akarma. And where you can see akarma. What is akarma? Akarma is nothing but that karma yoga. So karma synonymous swadharma, akarma synonymous karma yoga. You are perfectly in tandem, perfectly in synchrony with that work. So we can say there is music in your heart without a break, while storm of action rages outside. That is the stage of akarma or karma yoga. There is music in your heart without a break, while storm of action rages outside. So if a person can reach to that level, it doesn't matter what kind of work she or he does. That's why you can see in all realm, all department, all area, you can see some happy people. You can see a homemaker who continuously whining. No one is giving me any attention. I'm toiling from morning till evening. Same situation, you can see another lady or a man. Nowadays, homemaker, even men are there. or a man, they don't complain because they are perfectly in tune with that. A police officer, you can see a corrupted police officer. At the same time, you can see a police officer. For him, it is thrilling. Wow, policing is thrilling. So, a glimpse of akarma, I can say. I'm not telling they have reached that stage of akarma, but they are on that path. Okay, that is the beauty of akarma, reaching. That means you are taking actionness out of the action. Even in a pressure situation, you feel you are at ease. I told some examples also while defining yoga. Abhinandan Vardhaman. Fully tense situation, right? Can you imagine being a fighter pilot? Can you imagine, like, fighting against the enemy? We have a lot of attachment, right? Like, so another small example, don't think, these are a high example, like, soldiers and all. One small example, around 6 or 7 years back, there was an incident happened in Kerala. Okay, there was heavy rain going on for many months, and in town, two or three person fell into the drainage. They couldn't differentiate which is drainage and which is road. They fell inside the drainage. One auto driver jumped into the drainage just to save those strangers. He saved two persons' life, and while saving the third person's life, he died. Look at his level of action. He also has family, right? Do you imagine, like, in that situation, what you would be doing? Three person you can see in front of us, they are washed away in that drainage. That also, like, muddy water, not even clear water. And even we take it for granted that you are a perfect swimmer. Will you jump? Something will be pulling, like, so that is like there is no actionness in that action. Fully, like, detached from that fruit of action. And now you might be thinking, oh, what he gained? A Paramveer Chakra after death? What is the use of it? Those are, like, real mediocre thoughts we ordinary people have, because our Indian wisdom says that, even Bhagavad Gita, very outset of Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter says that this is not the only life we have. We will not be carrying this body. Body will be here. It will be mixed with Panchabhuta, but there is something, it is a continuous journey. There are a lot of slogas in that. It may be difficult for you to comprehend. You may not even believe that with modern scientific eye, but you have to travel in that path a little more, gain more and more wisdom, then slowly you will understand. I am not making any big claim. I am not trying to inject any superstition in you, and not even take my words fully. If you are convinced, then you believe. Okay, there is something called that, past effect of that continuous journey. So such people are there, like, they sacrifice their life. So for them, their Swadharma doesn't involve the boundary of family. They have a greater vision, maybe humanity. And different people are at their different evolutionary scale, right? Some people are fully into themselves. They don't even take care of their family. Some people expand that into family. And airline professional is there. What will happen if there is going to be an air crash? Does the air hostess first jump out with that parachute? No. Her duty is to save that passengers first, safety of passengers first. What will happen as ship is going to get drowned? Captain jump first. Captain's duty is that. So Swadharma mixed with the Vikarma is the only way to salvation. Akarma, Karma Yoga. Now, some more aspects of Karma Yoga is there. Couple of more aspects of Karma Yoga. A yogi and sannyasi, or another term like seeing action in inaction. And a karma yogi is a person who can see action in inaction. And, or shall I take 5 more minutes and finish it off today? 5 or 10 minutes? Because then you will get complete picture. Otherwise it will be like missing. Okay. A yogi must be able to see action in inaction and inaction in action. What does that mean? Action in inaction. That means, no, inaction in action. You are acting all the time, and yet you don't feel like you did something. Wow. You are acting continuously, and yet you feel like you have not done anything. You know where that intensity, imagine you have a sick father or a sick mother, and you are addressing to his or her need for 2 or 3 years continuously. What are the things you do? You change his diaper, because he or she cannot do anything. Taking her to toilet, doing all those basic duty. She is bedridden, feeding her everything. 3 years continuously you are doing this, and just 3 years after 3 years she died. Okay, and you feel like, okay, you didn't do anything. You were simply doing your duty. Not to create an impression on others, but deep inside you think like, okay, as a daughter, it was my duty to take care of my dad or mom, and I did that. I don't feel a thing. That is seeing inaction in action. I told one human being example. Now look into the nature. What sun is doing? Sun is rising every day, giving the energy to us, this entire world, right? Birds are getting up, we are doing this activity, all energy we are getting, plants are growing, all these things are happening because sun is rising and giving energy. If you approach sun and say, dear sun, thank you for the energy you have given. Sun, what did I do? No, you gave energy, you removed the darkness, you gave us light. Okay, is that so? Then you do one thing, bring some darkness to me. Let me see how I am eliminating that darkness. Can you bring darkness to sun? From far away itself, that's gone. That should be our existence. You will get lot of accolades, you will get lot of appreciation for your action. Did I do a thing? So that is seeing inaction in action. Now another living being example. So this is the example of sun. What about cloud? Does cloud bother like, oh, I'm okay, today I'll give rain to Delhi, tomorrow let me go to Rishikesh and give rain there? No. Cloud's property is simply it rains when that time comes. Right? River is flowing. Why river Ganga is flowing? Okay, let me give some punya to these people on this land. Does river Ganga think so? Even if a cow or a dog or a foreigner or an Indian take bath, it doesn't know a thing. My nature, my duty is simply to flow. What about a cock? Not in urban area, earlier in the villages and all, even today in so many villages, cock is the alarm. Crowing of the cock. Cock, 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 cock. Everyone get up, 5 o'clock. And we go to cock, oh, thank you for the alarm. Cock, what? I am not doing anything for you. That is my nature. Imagine we can work like that in our life. I'm giving you this class and you are telling me, thank you, sir, for the wisdom, all this knowledge. Oh, okay. My duty, it's okay. Instead of that, I'm taking pride. I'm the greatest teacher. Yeah. I philosophize to those persons. I'll go down. I may win the battle, but I will lose the war. Okay. Now, just the opposite. So, this is the characteristics of a yogi. A yogi work continuously. Krishna did work. All those people, yogi, did work, continuous work. And yet, they don't feel a thing. I didn't do this. The moment you take pride, you cannot see light. You cannot reach Ananda. Because ego will blur the scene. You will not have that clear vision. That is a problem. That's why you should not take pride. Okay. Now the second aspect. What is the second aspect? Seeing action in inaction. That means there is inaction, but there is a lot of action involved in that. How? That is the trait of a sannyasi. So yogi and sannyasi, just the two sides of the same coin. Okay, these two are not different, even though outside they look different. Seeing action in inaction. One simple example. Okay, you have, I think some of you have kids, others might have mothers. You think like, if you have mother, you think in the capacity of a kid. If you are a mother, you think in the perspective of a kid. Okay, or you think in the perspective of a mother. Okay, imagine there is a fight between a mother and a kid. Kids did something wrong. Mother is admonishing her. Beta, wait, didn't I tell you don't do that? One mother is reacting. Okay, other mother, that kid did something wrong, mother remained silent. Mother stopped talking, which will be having immense impact. After 5 hours of silence, this kid will approach automatically, Mama, Mama, please talk to me, Mama. I'm sorry, Mama. You didn't say anything. You simply remained silent. There was inaction outside, but it had the same effect of action. So that is one very good example how you can see action in inaction. Now you see a saint, a great pure person, a sannyasi visiting your home. He's not doing anything. He's simply sitting there. How radiant that atmosphere will be. How pure your mind will become just by being in the presence of that great person. That is not doing anything outside. When Buddha was sitting, that person came with abusive words. Buddha didn't do a thing. But it sent a message across the spectrum. Wow. So that is a sannyasi, a yogi. You simply adopt inaction and a lot of action involved. Okay. Now, which one we should adopt? Let us resort to inaction rather than doing action. That should not be the case. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, a yogi is better than a sannyasi. Why he says so? Because if we preach inaction, lot of people will not do anything and they may become hypocrite because they will become lazy, indolent. They act like they are saints and Baba, great person, simply sitting, meditation and all. But inside there will be a war going on. Lot of dirt in mind, ego in mind, all these things. So always one person should act. Even a jnani should act. Even if you attain that supremeness, even then you have to act. Because lot of people are looking towards you. They are there, ignorant person are there to imitate you. So for that loga sangraha, for that betterment of the world, you have to act. Okay. Now, final couple of points. Don't take the ownership of action. If you did something, don't even think like, no, I did that. You know why? Logically, we can tell you that. I can tell you that. Logically. Any action you do or any result coming out of that is having two sides of it. It will create goodness also. It will create badness also. Any action. One example I can tell you. You are celebrating your child's birthday, first birthday, second birthday, third birthday with much pomp and show without realizing that your child has got 1 day reduced from his longevity. Yet you celebrate. Mother's milk is the nectar on this earth. There is no such single food which will give you complete nutrition except the mother's milk. All other time we need to balance. Okay, if you are taking ghee, you have to go for some carbohydrate also, like that. But there was some time, some period in everybody's life, mother's milk supported us, giving us full nutrition. But When a child is sucking mother's milk, that child sucks mother's sweat also. Jnaneshwara says in the commentary of Gita. But we are so narrow minded, or we are myopic, that we only take one aspect of that and project it, and being happy or being sad. Pandemic hit. Some person has said, oh, such a bad thing is going on in this world. They see only one side of it. They don't see the other side. So anything, one political party is ruling, they are creating a lot of problem in society. There is goodness also. One political party is ruling, now this has become a heaven. There is bad side of it. Anything you do, there are two sides. It doesn't matter how thin you slice it, there is always two sides. And how foolish we will be if we are taking ownership of our action. Okay, one thing. Second thing, you have to act for yourself, not for the world. There is nothing you can do for this world. World is before you, and world will be after you also. World will be like the curly tail of a dog. No matter how much goodness you are trying to put into it, it will again remain as the curly tail. How? This is such a paradox. This is such a controversial statement to make. After saying all these things, final message is don't do anything for the world. No. For you have to act for, not for the world, for yourself. One person is running an orphanage, taking care of 100 orphans. He is not doing that for that 100 orphans. He is doing that for himself. How beautiful it will be. Why you have to do like that? Why you have to continuously do goodness? Because then only you can cleanse your mind and go beyond your mind and see light. Otherwise, you will go down. Then what is the beauty of this thought? Sometimes we feel disappointed, devastated. No matter how much I tried, I gave all these goodness. I did all these things to my children, and yet they dumped me in my old age. So what? Who told you to expect something when you are doing work? Your dharma should be to take care of your parents, but don't expect that dharma from your children. It is not because of that you are taking care of your parents. Yeah, you are setting an example in front of children, but you are not having an expectation when you are doing that. Then you will be at peace. So that is the beauty of Karma Yoga. So main points are: renounce yourself from the fruit of action. Don't take ownership of your action. Do every action with much relaxation and full concentration. All these things will be the trait of a Karma Yogi. Now, it is easier said than done. But now I have given you this idea. You embrace that idea. Continuously contemplate on that idea. Try to bring it into the practice level in your life. It may take some time, but definitely it will exalt you. People say, right, oh, he's a sadhak. Sadhak means what? Practitioner. How can you practice? Not only physically. Yeah, Deepika ji is traveling today. Now she is in Chicago. Tomorrow she may be in Tokyo. Who knows? She may not be able to do yoga, continuous traveling and all, but at the same time she can be in yoga. After attending the needs of the clients when she is sitting in her seat, or no, pilot also you can. Once that aircraft is in motion, pilot might be having that chit chat. That time also they can have that continuous Atma Vichara. What am I doing? The true meaning of life, cleansing the mind. So this is the one yoga I do every day. Whenever I do that action continuously you have to do action. Why? Because then only you will know the dirt inside. Okay, that means a tank is still. Continuously you put a stick into it and shake it. Mud will come, water will be muddy, but that is the time you can filter it out. So continuous action may give you the dirt of your mind. That time you correct it. Okay, what I thought just now, am I feeling jealous? This is not right. I should not feel jealous. Okay, what happened just now? I was angry. Why I was angry? Damn, I should not be angry. Continuously you practice that sadhana. After some time, maybe 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, what will happen to you? You are not doing this to get acclaim, appreciation from the people around. You will be like, there will be continuous music in your heart, even though storm of action rages outside. Okay, and if you can be a karma yogi, automatically your world will get benefit out of it. Even if world is not deriving a benefit, you will not be sad. I am giving you this lecture, right? After this class, you may go in your way. You may not be following a thing I said. So what? It's okay for me. I did my part. Now you have to do your part. You got it? If I have expectation like, okay, today I did great thing and all, now these people will be correct or no, they will be like better individual. Tomorrow I am finding you in life situation where you're like fully angry, fully dejected, disappointed. I should not think like, oh, my entire effort went wasted. My class was unproductive. Why I should think like that? You are world for me. You are curly tail for me. My purpose is not to correct you or make you better. My purpose is to show justice to my inner personality, my swadharma, mix vikarma into it, and reach this particular exercise into the state of akarma. I hope it is clear. Karma yoga. Now, okay, we are winding up. Any doubt you have, you can ask.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, then tomorrow we will be entering into the Shad Darshan, not Shad Darshana, some of the Darshana, Shad Darshana is there. Tomorrow we will be taking Charvaga philosophy, Buddhism, etc. So some of the terms are there, some new things will be there, which you have to go through. Why? Shad Darshana, one of the Darshana is yoga. So when you have a glimpse of other Darshana, you can understand in comparison with that where you are standing. You can understand that all those philosophy leading us to the same destination called moksha or salvation. Okay, so just a like in a cursory look into all these darshana, maybe next 3 days or 4 days maximum. After that, we will be entering into Patanjali Yoga Sutra, which is nothing but Raja Yoga. We dealt with Karma Yoga now. Jnana Yoga, this knowledge, Jnana, supreme Jnana, you are getting. Jnana Yoga will be the undercurrent. Raja Yoga we will be discussing in detail through Patanjali Yoga Sutra and introduction to Hatha Yoga Pradipika. Then Bhakti Yoga, yeah, that also one class will be there. Okay, so that will give you overall idea of yoga, and in that you can choose like which path you have to adopt. If everything you can follow yoga of synthesis, that is better. Otherwise, okay, one path you take, embrace it, work on it properly, then you can reach the destination. Ultimate aim is to reach moksha. That is the highest aim. But for you, immediate aim will be starting a career or different thing might be there. But ultimate thing is that transformation of that our individual self and reaching to the self. Okay. Tomorrow we will be dealing with Charvaga, Buddhism, etc. Jainism. Time is there, so Jainism also will take. Okay. So let us wind up the class. Close your eyes. Inhale, exhale deeply. One Om chanting in prayer. Inhale. Om. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kasyit dukha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Rub your palms, produce heat, apply it on your eyes. With a few blinks, gently open your eyes. Thank you all. Have a nice day. To Deepika, I should say good night, right? She's in America.
Yes, sir. You have a great day, sir.
Yeah, and Monica is in New Zealand. Good afternoon. Okay, thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you, sir.